Hi guys, my name is Holly, and today I'm going to be making a video about my accepted graphic design portfolio for OCAD University. So I applied earlier this year in January or February time, and then I found out I got accepted in April? Yes, in April. So I got accepted for fall 2022. So I found these videos really helpful when I was sort of like creating my portfolio, so I thought I would make one for you guys today. Let's start. So what you need for the portfolio is 10 examples of your finished work. You have to describe what the medium is, and then you also have to add a short 50-word explanation. Some of mine went over 50 words, some of mine were under 50 words. You don't have to do exactly 50 words, but don't go crazy. I would say do anywhere between 40 and 60 words. And then you have to include a process work / book as one piece of the portfolio submission. So I'll show you mine at the end. So when it comes to organization of the portfolio, I was told to do similar things together. So don't just like jump between all your artwork, all your things in your portfolio. So like I started with my AP art stuff, so you can see that I like had a concept behind my work. And then I went into kind of my like, I guess you'd call it like 3D multimedia stuff. And then I did my graphic design things, and then I did my printed work. So let's start with my first piece. So this piece was part of my AP art portfolio. I added a title, I added the medium, I added the size, and again, size does not have to be exact, but just a rough estimate so they can kind of like gauge what it would look like in real life. If you took AP art, or if you did any other high-level art class, or if you won any awards for your art, feel free to just drop that in there. Don't think that you're gonna come across as like conceited or anything. They want to know if other people view your artwork as good. So for this piece, I said this was the first piece of my AP Studio Art concentration on which I scored a 4. So feel free to put that in. And then I told about my whole investigation, and then I gave like a little bit of detail about this specific piece. So there's the first piece. Next piece, another title. Again, medium and size. I continued with another explanation of how this went into my full investigation, so try and keep it like cohesive if you can. It doesn't have to all be completely cohesive, just if you have some series of works that tell a story, those are good to put in. And this was my third one of my AP art concentration. And again, just explain why you made the choices you did, explain the idea. Don't worry too much about the description. I was really stressing out about it, but just as long as you say like what the idea was, why you made it, what medium you chose, why you chose that medium, just you will be fine. Okay, so this next one was a mural that I did in my high school. So I included multiple pictures on just one page to show kind of like process work. They really like process work. So I showed what the medium was, the size of it, and then I explained that like my friend and I were specifically chosen for this. Again, just name drop your achievements basically, like just feel free to do that. And just explain like why this project was important to you. So like I said that this one was challenging because it was so large, because I'd never done anything that large before. Yeah. Next one, this is to show that I have skills in things that are not just like painting or not just like drawing, and I don't know. Basically, I needed to show that I had skills in 3D stuff too. So I inserted this top that I made out of I crocheted it out of acrylic yarn. I explained that I taught myself to do this. I wanted to challenge myself and understand how such a 3D piece is constructed. And I explained that although I had to redo many parts, I learned a lot through the process of making it. So again, that process work, they like to hear that word, process work. Okay. Next, we have an example to show that since I was applying for the graphic design program, it is good to include mostly graphic design related things. it's good to show variety, but also like say you're applying for illustration, you need to have things that you've illustrated. Or if you're applying for painting, you need to have things that you've painted. So this was where I kind of got into the more specific things. This was my little storyboard. So this is showing the process work again. We had to make a storyboard. And then I show the actual final project of what it looks like. Okay, and for this one I explained, so I give it a title. It was done on Photoshop and After Effects. I explained that I made this for a university class. I explained what I was inspired by and the fact that I was really proud of my finished product. So yes, that is all for that one. Next we have this little like album cover that I made, and again I explained it was for a digital media class. I'd say what I was inspired by. So I was inspired by pop art and the use of color, so I chose to use only primary colors. And then, yeah, I just explain how this challenged me because I didn't have much experience in typography. So they like process work, they like knowing that you challenged yourself for fun, things like that. Next. This is an example of how my digital media projects translate into final, like, actual 3D products. So I called this cat light box. This is a little, like, digital illustration of my cat that I turned into a little, like, light up thing right there. So I explained that this was the first physical product I designed on Adobe Illustrator, and then I explained the process where I illustrated a photo of my cat, made it into a poster, and then I printed it in my school's graphic studio and turned it into a light up sign using an IKEA light box. So again, it's all about process work. They like to see that you can make cool stuff, basically. Next, another example of how my digital work looks when printed. So this, it's not the best picture because it's not very large, but this was just me showing my little like pamphlet that I made for my school's art show. And again, say your accomplishments. Say, I specifically said I was chosen by my high school graphics teacher and art teacher. Say that other people appreciate your artwork and other people validate that you are good at what you do. So I said I was chosen by my high school graphics and art teacher to create a program for our senior art show. I had no prior experience with InDesign, so this was a great opportunity for me to learn a new program and collaborate with others to meet a print deadline. So short, sweet, to the point. I explain the challenges, I explain the process. There we go. This was another one that I designed in Photoshop and then it got printed out. And again, I didn't say that I was chosen for this. I was chosen to do this specifically. And I said I designed this poster for my teacher's band, Jefferson Diner. They wanted an eye-catching, impactful design. I manipulated a photo they took in Photoshop, laminated the poster, and got the band members to sign it. They now use it for all their shows and they sell the poster. So again, showing that other people will buy your work, other people value your work. Yeah, and with this I showed like what it looked like on Photoshop and also what it looked like printed out, just to show like it translates well in both mediums. So feel free to do that as well. And then this last document was all of my process work. So this is where I struggled a little bit more because I don't know if I mentioned this, but I decided I wanted to apply to OCAD 2 days before the portfolio deadline. So I made my portfolio very quickly and I was like, oh shoot, how do I get all my process work? Luckily I had some from AP Art because AP Art makes you do process work. So that's what this like dollar bill stuff is. This was some of my process work. And I just showed like experimenting with like different kinds of colors, different mediums, just like trying things out. And then there's me like drawing out. And then you can see like just the work in progress of everything. And then I showed some of my like Photoshop stuff. So this was the Jefferson Diner poster, so they like to see direct translation from process work to final product. So I included some like random things like this little like thing of me, but like that was a final product that I showed earlier. And this was like for my top here. All of this stuff I just like added in basically like in those 2 days. I just started like doodling and just like messing around in a notebook. It's not the best art, but they like to see that you're experimenting with things. They like to see that you're trying things out. So that was what I just included it as a little bit of extra. So for this one, I just titled it process work so they know where it is. I would say always put your process work as your last item because they mention it last in the description, and also they'll be able to look at your process work and see how it relates directly back to some of the things you've shown. So for the description, I said, my artistic process involves a lot of planning. I'm not the kind of person. So for the description, I said that my artistic process involves a lot of planning. I'm not the kind of person to start a project without experimenting first. Even if this is not true, say that. Just say that you like to experiment, you like to have a process. Because again, they're looking for those keywords. They're looking for process work, looking for experiment, they're looking for I try new things, I plan. Just be yourself in your descriptions, but also add some keywords into them. I said, whenever I paint, I always draw my designs out first, which is true. With digital media, I love how I have the ability to change it all the way into completion. So I added a little thing about each medium that I use and put that in the description. So that is my whole portfolio. Please let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. And yeah, I wish you all the best of luck with your portfolios. I know how stressful it can be, but if I can apply 2 days before and get in, you can do it. I believe in you. All right, bye-bye.